Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. Queen Naomi allegedly, stood her grounds. Why she refused to listen to pastors Ebony brought to the royal mansion. They said she refused to listen and she put all of them in their place. You judge me for marrying Ooni of Ife, and now you ask me to perform ritual. Are you really pastors that wear the words of Olori Naomi as we are hearing? Now, when Olori Naomi got married to the Ooni of Ife, that was in 2018. You do remember that at that time, Ebony was Ayaba inside the palace of the Ooni of Ife. And if you know Ebony very well, Ebony is a traditionalist who goes to church. Most times you see her praying and singing, and then the next time you see her carrying calabash. So apparently she does her traditional stuff and she also goes to church. Now, at the time that Ooni of Ife chose to be with Olori Naomi, Ebony was attending a particular church in Ile Ife, okay? At that time, they were not really strong in... Now, at the time, they were not so strong in this Anglican church that they are attending right now. And that church was one big church at that time in Ile Ife. Ebony used to attend that church. Now, when Olori Naomi agreed to marry the Ooni of Ife, this group of pastors were one of those pastors who criticized the living daylight out of Olori Naomi, called her all sorts of names, said she is not a woman of God, that saying that she is a prophetess was a lie, that Olori Naomi is not a prophetess. Olori Naomi had just gone into ministry because of hunger. If Olori Naomi had been a true child of God, Olori Naomi would never have agreed to marry the Ooni of Ife. Now, for what? Because they felt like Ooni of Ife was what? Ooni of Ife is not a human being or what, okay? Now, it is very sad when you hear men and women of God speak that way, because Christians, we were all told that Jesus Christ came for the sinners and not for the righteous. So then, this pastor has had a relationship with Ebony, and Ebony, who is a traditionally goes to that church, does all the offering and everything in that church. So right now that things have gone really, really bad, they said Ebony went there and carried two of them, the pastors, and with some members of the royal family, and they stormed the palace, the royal mansion, to speak to Olori Naomi and try and convince Olori Naomi to return to Ile Ife for the ritual. If you have been following the trend of events, things have been happening. Ebony has not been feeling okay. And they say the attack comes at night, that from 11, there is war. I don't know if you've, God forbid, you've ever been in a situation where you begin to feel that kind of warly situation at night. They say it starts from 11. Every time from 11, there is serious war. She will struggle and get to sleep around 5 a.m. in the morning. That she'll be coughing. Then during the day, she could be okay. She will be fine. She will be strong. But at night, it starts. And it is because of the timing of, the affliction that is making them know that it is coming from the gods, is a judgment from the gods. That is how they were able to find out that it's a judgment from the gods. And so now they have told Ebony what to do, that Ebony will have to gather the agbalodo, do a lot of stuff. They say there are 11 things that Ebony is supposed to do. And about 4 of this, or 3, has to do with Olori Naomi. Naomi has to be a part of it, okay? And they are begging Naomi to return back to Ile Ife so they can start those rituals. And Naomi is saying that you call yourself pastors. And you want me to return to Ile-Ife and perform ritual that my husband has not even tried to force me to go and perform. Are you really pastors? Because if you were pastors just the same way you judged me in 2018, and when I left the palace, you concluded that yes, you had already told them that I am not a woman of God. If I had been a woman of God, there is no way I would have left my husband the way I did. You did conclude that they said Olori Naomi asked them, also, are you sure that you are pastors? And they said Naomi threw them out of her house, that she does not want anybody to come to her house again and speak to her about going to Ile-Ife to go and do ritual, because she will never, ever, ever go. And, you know, when I heard about the fact that Naomi will be part of this ritual, I just knew that it would be very, very difficult. Let me tell you one of the reasons why Naomi is not back or being seen with the Ooni of Ife was because of the same rituals. Ile-Ife, they gathered and they said that the ritual will be done in the in the forest. Naomi said she wasn't going to the forest. And at this point, Kabiyesi would not want to do anything to make it look as if he is forcing Naomi to do what Naomi doesn't want to do. And that was how, Kabiyesi left her. Naomi refused to go to the forest. If Naomi would not even go and do ritual to save her own self, what makes you feel that you're so special that will make Naomi go and do ritual for you when you started a fight with Olori Naomi? Call this lady all sort of names. You made people to call her names. That is if the information we are getting is correct. That everybody thought they had an opinion as it comes to Olori Naomi matter. Up until today, people are still dragging Naomi left, right, and center, all because you wanted Kabiyesi. And today, when it's time to pay, when it's time to eat the fruit of your labor, you want Naomi to come and eat with you. No, Naomi will not. And she says she is not going. Now, and if you like, go and carry any pastor that you want to carry. Olori Naomi, the fact that you brought a pastor does not mean Naomi is just going to bow to them. After all, they were there when all of these injustices were happening. And nobody thought of doing anything. How come they did not cancel you? How come they didn't do anything? How come they didn't say, stop it? And now you go and jack them and you come. They said Naomi refused to listen to them. And they said Naomi actually threw them out of the royal mansion. This is what we are hearing. If the information is true, I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged rumored on verified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.